the fuck?
I'm walking. I'm actually walking to my house. You actually harassing me.
Pop the
You actually harassing me. Like, why? Why? I didn't nothing to you. I'm pregnant.
Okay, she arrested the tape.
What the fuck?
I'm walking. I'm actually walking to my house. You actually harassing me.
Pop the
You actually harassing me. Like, why? Why? I didn't nothing to you. I'm pregnant.
Hey, how you doing? This is Seji Hito here to bring you the news. So you seen the video. I made sure to replay it and also had a warning because of the video footage. Video shows pregnant woman shot by police. A Texas police officer shot a woman dead moments before she yelled, "I'm pregnant," while fighting the cops. The woman was not pregnant, as quoted by the cops. How they know, I have not a clue. Grandmother of 3, Pamela Turner, age 44, was shown on the video struggling to resist arrest for outstanding warrants outside an apartment complex in Baytown on Monday. Quote, "You're actually harassing me, and I'm actually walking to my house." The footage was captured on cell phone by another man who lives on the premises. And you can also hear her, quote, say before she was tasered, "I'm pregnant." Once she struggled and she got the taser away from the officer, 5 shots rang out, killing her, with police saying at least one bullet hit her in the face. Authorities said Turner was wanted on warrants for assault and criminal mischief and that the officer knew her from previous interactions. He tried to arrest her Monday, Baytown Police Lieutenant Steve Dorr said, and a struggle ensued. Quote, "During the course of the attempted arrest, the female began struggling with the officer, which forced the officer to deploy his taser. When he tried to handcuff her, she grabbed the weapon and turned it back on the officer. And she actually tased the officer, which forced the officer to draw his duty weapon and fire multiple rounds at the suspect." He said his office had confirmed Turner was not pregnant, but did not elaborate on how they knew. Autopsy results have not been released. Interesting. Turner's sister, Antoinette, told local station KPRC that her sibling, who has 2 children in their 20s as well as 3 grandkids, was on medication for schizophrenia. Witnesses told the station that Turner was not a bad person and that she would just walk around, smoke cigarettes, and walk her dog. Court records show that she did have 3 outstanding warrants, according to the station, 2 for criminal mischief and another for assault resulting in bodily harm. Police say they want to talk to whoever took the video because they are a key witness. Quote, "It's unfortunate that somebody takes a tragic incident like this and posts it on social media. It's extremely disrespectful for everybody involved, but that's the day and age we live in with social media." He adds, "It's a tragic event for everyone involved. Of course, our hearts go out to the family of the deceased as well as the officer." Now, before I continue on what I'm going to actually read to you guys, I find it hugely hilarious that one, the autopsy report has not come out, so we don't know what was in her blood or anything like that, or how they would even know that she's even pregnant. That's beyond me. Number 2, okay, so she had warrants. Okay, fine, whatever. So do a lot of people out here. Number 3, he decided to sit up there and tase her, and that obviously didn't work. She wrestled the taser away from him. And then he supernaturally thought that the taser is stronger than whatever gun he has. So he was like, you know what? Bang, 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 bang. Really? Really? You wearing a bulletproof vest and everything else. She's barely wearing any clothes. Like, she's wearing a very thin layer of clothes. And he was afraid of the taser? Word? You couldn't have just like took those out of your vest instead of pulling your weapon and then use like some pepper spray or the baton or something like that. Could have done any number of things. Could have went about the situation completely differently, but he didn't. Another thing that I find highly interesting, now they're like, oh, we really need to talk to the person who recorded the video because they're a key witness. No, they're going to try to sit up there and shake that man down to swap around anything to go against anything that was in the footage, because they were like, well, how long were you there? And did you see what happened before? Now tell us what happened. And they're going to sit up there and use that. And then they're going to try to use their own wording and map that into exactly what happened, trying to put 100% blame on her and none on the officer, as they're trying to do, with the story. And then last but not least, this is the thing that I try to get people to understand when it deals with the police and the reasons why they don't like you recording. Notice nowhere in that story did it state that that police officer had a body cam. Notice nowhere in that story did it state that the police officer also had dash cam audio or something like that, or rather, none of that was even mentioned, because more than likely he didn't have it. More than likely there was no body cam footage. That's why nothing has been released yet. Or if there is body cam footage, the police station the chief should have made a note of that and said that we're investigating the body cam footage and it'll be released later, like I've seen in every other report, but that is not the case. So I'm presuming at this time and moment that there is no body cam. Because if there was, they wouldn't complain about this footage being released on social media. And then that's another thing too. Now they want to complain about social media being a part of this. No. You're mad because we're showing what your officers are normally doing day in and day out to people in the community, and you don't like it because you don't get to control the narrative of the view of what everybody is seeing. You can't put together like one of those well-written, hi, this is Sergeant such and such, and I'm going to walk you through this video and let you know what our officers did and did not do, and how this suspect is actually to blame for the reason that he died by our bullets. You can't put any of that together like you normally would, because your officer obviously is not wearing a body cam. So this is why you have a problem, because you can't shape shift, the story in your favor. Let's go on to the next thing here. All right, now this is the other information that I seen from Sean King's page. All right, so this woman was walking to her apartment when she was stopped by a Baytown police officer near Houston, Texas. The officer claimed to have knowledge of an outstanding warrant for the woman and attempted to perform the arrest. What happens next is an issue that lies at the root of the problem of police brutality and the deadliest police culture in the modern world. The video speaks for itself. This cop eventually murders this woman, shoots her up to 5 times. He claims that she was resisting, so he had to use force to perfect the arrest. During the application of force, he lost control of the taser gun, and fearing for his life, he drew his firearm and shot until the woman was terminated. The woman with possible outstanding warrants was walking home and not cooperating with a cop in the middle of the night. At this point, he had so many choices other than to use force to bring about her compliance. He could have followed at a safe distance, waited for backup, and forced the warrants later. These weren't just some better choices he could have made. The steps are what he should have been trained to do. They represent the standard operating procedures for law enforcement officers. He violated them. As a result, a woman is dead. A woman who is rumored to be pregnant and suffering from a mental health disorder is dead. A woman who lived in a community like many Black communities that are over-policed and who was being profiled. A woman who had warrants which only represented accusations from another incident that likely didn't require police involvement. People should not resist the police or disobey orders, especially in this police culture. They inevitably will. Inevitably will. This should not give cops the green light to shoot them down like dogs in the streets. This didn't have to happen. And the as stated, the woman's name is Pamela Shantae Turner, and this is what it is. It's it's ridiculous.
They're your parents?
My aunt.
Oh, your aunts? Where's your aunt at?
On her way. She left me. She's coming back.
Left, she's coming back? Cool. Do me a favor. Take a deep breath and blow into that, alright? Alright, do me a favor, try one more time. Deep breath, don't go so far in.
Is there a staring problem? Mind your business. Like,
63, we're 10-8.
Alright, where's your aunt at? You have her phone number?
What?
How old are you?
I know that didn't come up positive. I didn't take a drink of anything, so.
Alright. Hang on one second. Alright, take a deep breath and keep blowing. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Straight. Alright, yo guys, even if it's your aunt, she is of age.
Is she of age?
Yeah, how old is she? Like 40?
No, it's man, this is moving.
Alright, go grab her real quick. We're gonna have them pour that all out.
How are you gonna let us go if we didn't even drink alcohol?
Well, where's your aunt at?
You're allowed to carry alcohol.
That's interesting.
You're underage. You are. You're not allowed to drink it, and we did not
Open
drink
display on the beach.
it. What?
Possession consumption.
It's not open.
Open display means
What do you mean? That doesn't
you can
mean
see it,
anything.
yes.
Okay, you can see it, and we're not drinking.
5043. Come here with Ellis Kellinger in the beach.
Go
502, you clear?
All the other gators back.
Cool, what's your name? How about that?
Will you let me know for obstruction of my 18-month-old daughter over there?
Yeah, you're not
For
cooperating.
obstruction?
Yeah.
I didn't disrespect you. I didn't do anything to get written up, did I?
Closing the scene. Now you're closing the scene.
I'm not
You want
closing
it?
the scene.
Alright, I'll give you one more chance to give me your last name.
Just be
You're not gonna lock me up.
Okay.
You can't lock me up. I didn't disrespect you.
Okay.
And you don't need to write my name down either because I didn't disrespect you. I didn't do anything to you. You're mad because you thought we were drinking.
Alright, I'll give you one.
Because your brother left me.
Okay. First of all,
You thought you
you're
were
in
gonna come
possession.
over here.
Where's your aunt at then?
She's on her way.
Okay, what's your
You
last
could
name?
wait here. That's like you wasted your time coming over here. You could wait here for her.
Okay, what's your last name?
You don't need my last name.
Okay, that's it. I'm done with you. Do you have cuffs on you?
No, man!
Get over here.
Don't touch me!
Yo.
Don't touch me!
Alright, you're about to get dropped.
Yo, don't touch me, man! Don't!
Get over here.
What are you doing? Don't touch me, man! Oh my God!
You're done.
You think I get the on my hair? Get off me! What are you doing?
5043, send me another unit. Skellinger in the beach. We got one resisting.
No! I can't pull my hair! This is John! Get off of me! What are you doing? Matt! Matthew! They're choking me!
Scavenger in the beach. Can I get another unit?
They're choking me, man! Matt, I cannot breathe!
I'm not choking.
Yes, the you are, you Get the off me, yo! I'm
That's
not
it.
resisting.
Get on. Back up! Back up! Get over here now!
You're not allowed to beat me like that. Stop. I'm a woman. It doesn't matter.
Put your hands behind your back.
It doesn't matter. You're not allowed to hit me like that and choke me. You're not allowed to hit me and choke me like that. You're not allowed to hit me and choke me like that.
Handcuff her.
You're not allowed to hit me and choke me like that. My daughter is right there seeing this. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not one of these little you're just gonna let you treat my mom doesn't treat us anyway. You white piece of trash.
Juliet Alpha, Charlie Oscar, Bravo.
Oh my god! I didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't drinking anything. Just smell it.
It wasn't even open, bro.
You just choked me off. I can't believe you did that. Get off of me. Ah!
One in custody.
Don't stare unless you're f***ing help. You need to get the f*** off me, you the trash. Ew. Oh yeah, now we got these young cops who don't know how to treat people. I'm gonna talk to your captain as if he will give too.
Good, I hope you do.
Yeah, I will. Dirtball. No. Who are you?
I'm gonna be the one to transfer you, okay?
Yeah, will you?
I didn't arrest you. All right, so
I don't care.
Back up.
Don't touch my f***ing father. That's my daughter. That's my daughter.
Y'all all running cops.
your mouth shut before you get locked up too. Right? Don't be stupid.
What? No, tell me why you put it on the ground. Bro, she didn't even open the can.
Listen to me. Listen to
Nothing
me.
was open. No
Now's not the time to argue this, okay? Number one, you got a baby in your hand.
I know. So you take my baby.
That's my girlfriend. You got a baby
in the fucking
Worry
face.
about her, not your girlfriend. You get that straightened out later. How old is she?
These two dudes just punched her in her face, though.
Yeah, well, she tried kicking us, so that's it.
She didn't kick her.
Yeah, she did.
Piece just recorded it.
I go to. Yeah, it's fine. I go to stop her for LO for underage drinking. She said she's 20. She had twisted tees. She wouldn't give me her last name. So I said, hey, if you're not going to give me your information, you're going to be locked up. She tried walking away from me. When she tried walking away from me, I tried grabbing her. She tried kicking at us, so we slammed her on the ground. She kicked him. And then I hit her a couple times, and then I put her in cuffs, locked her up. And I came out, I was backing everybody up.
Well, why don't you guys walk? Take a walk.
Why don't you guys go inside, Dad?
9280, Rio Hudson.
It's on the quad.
Both of us.
Round out the alley.
Those are the quads.
97 Nicholas, confirmed. Pennsylvania GL. 3C, thank you.
Cause she didn't give him his last name. He started chasing him.
8384, they need anybody else to pick up? That's a negative right now. Tapper.
Hey, Chief, how's it going?
All right, so let's just look at the information here. Emily Weinman, aggravated assault on a police officer and charges of aggravated assault by spitting bodily fluids on a police officer, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, obstruction, and being a minor in possession of alcohol. September of 2016, she was arrested and charged with burglary, simple assault, criminal mischief, criminal trespass, and reckless endangering another person. In November of 2017, she pled guilty to a misdemeanor simple assault and misdemeanor recklessly endangering of another person. She was sentenced to serve 4 years of probation and pay just under $10,000 in court costs. Now, the second woman that you saw, which was Pamela Turner, the black woman who she was shot and killed because she wrestled the taser away from the cop, and he feared for his life. She was on medication for schizophrenia. Court records show that she did have 3 outstanding warrants, according to the station. 2 for criminal mischief and another for assault and resulting in bodily injury. Now, if you were to basically try to stack these up, it seems like the white girl would actually be the winner in this case, but obviously not, because it happened at 2 separate times during the day, 2 different areas, and also the case in point, one is white and one is black. Now, I did this to show the treatment and how certain things transpire when it has to do with black people and white people. Yes, things, mistreatment and things of this nature, they do happen. You're surely right. They do happen. But more often than not, you happen to see a lot more black people. You can even look at it as historically. A lot more black people are killed, quote unquote, by cops and, things of that nature. Proof of which, yet again, is by Pamela Turner. The cop from the video that was shot, rolled up on her, said that she had warrants and whatnot or whatever. So obviously the cop must have recognized her. So this is how he was able to identify that she had warrants, because she didn't say that she handed him an ID. We didn't see her hand an ID or any type of identification. So obviously he knew her by face and name. So next thing you know, the police officer tries to put handcuffs on her. She ends up dropping something in her hand, which sounded like a metal object, probably some type of can or something or other. Nothing that was dangerous. And then after that, he was like, all right, I'm going to pull out my taser and I'm going to start to taser you. The taser obviously did not work, and this was more than likely due to the fact that she was more than likely on her medication. So since that basically failed, she was able to regain all of her physical balance, I guess you could say, and she wrestled the taser away. It didn't say anywhere in the story, didn't show in a video that she struck the dude several times, that he was just down on the ground, helpless, and he had no other choice. That wasn't the case. She wrestled the taser away, and you saw him lifting up off the ground, because he was on one knee at the time. He lifted up off the ground, backed up 2 to 3 steps behind the car, bang, 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 bang. 5 shots fired directly at her. I don't know where to tell you where that use of force was warranted. He has on a bulletproof vest and thicker clothes than she does, so I'm pretty sure if she did happen to use the taser and it did strike, it would have, out of all things, it would have struck his thick clothing and, if not, his bulletproof vest, which they say that the taser was used. And not sure if the prongs were used or if it was the actual taser itself. I'm guessing the prongs. And those really didn't connect to him either. Or it must have been a weak taser with a weak charge, because he clearly was able to regain his bodily, his movements. And he stepped back and bang, 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 bang. Fired 5 shots. So if he could actually back up, I'm not sure where firing the gun was actually needed. Nobody can point to me where. A taser is stronger than a gun, I guess. It didn't work on both parties. So anybody wants to just argue that It's like, oh, well, she had a weapon and she wrestled it away. The taser didn't work on her. The taser didn't work on him. So what is your next point? What is your next point? Did she strike him in the eye? Did she stab him? Did she shank him? Like, did she kick him like in the groin? Did she hit a funny bone, a shin bone? What really do you have to automatically say like, yo, he was completely justified in the use of force? I don't see where he feared for his life. He stepped back 3 feet. He wasn't in fear. He was in control, and he knew exactly what he was doing. That's why he stepped back 3 feet. You can literally count that. Step back behind a car and it was like bang, 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 bang. That's it. That's it. So, but I'm pretty sure that people are going to say like, oh, this was a bad example and things. I guess so. I guess so. Obviously, those officers, they had weapons and things of the nature on them. They had more than likely some tasers, some batons and things of this nature. She was wrestling around, wrangling around. She kicked one of the officers very easily. Could have said like, oh, she physically assaulted me. I was in fear of my life. Very easily, could have did that. They do it at any other time. Very easily. But I guess they had to keep composure due to the fact that they were around hundreds of people. And more than likely, people were actually filming. So they couldn't really get away with that excuse. Then on top of that, she's young and she's white. She's young, she's free, and she's 21. Now, I'm pretty sure some people are going to take the age part out of context, but people who actually know what that means, you know what I'm saying. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think about everything in the video, from the stories to how both parties were treated, the use of force, and everything in between. As always, much love and appreciation to all of you who decided to come by this channel. Like, share, hit the share button or whatnot. Sorry. Much love and appreciation to all the Black women out there for everything that you do, past, present, and future. Much love and appreciation and respect to the Black men out there for everything that you do, seen and unseen. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video. Much love and appreciation, family. So for all of the brand new men's and women's shirts that you see, including the shoes, also please check out the link in the description below. Thank you.